Am I the a-hole for siding with my girlfriend after my twin sister screamed at her and left her crying? I, 19M, have been with my girlfriend 19F, who will call Carmen, for almost 4 years now. I will be using fake names for everyone for privacy reasons. My family consists my dad, 40M, my oldest sisters Kate, 22F, and Helen, 24F, my mom, 41F, my younger sisters Judy, 4F, and Lucy, 5F, and my twin sister Rachel, 19F. My mom and my dad have been divorced since I was 12, and Judy as well as Lucy are my half-sisters. Judy is on my dad's side and Lucy is on my mom's. It all dates back to almost 4 months ago. I was helping my dad fix my car when Carmen called me hysterical. I asked her to calm down and try to explain to me. Between sobs, she told me her father had just been deported. Now, Carmen's family is Hispanic while mine is white. I have a big family while she's the baby of the family and has 2 older brothers. This news was very unexpected as her father is a well-known and kind man. Never hurt a fly. He taught me how to cook their cultural foods, how to fish, stories of his home, and even gave me his blessing in case I wanted to ever marry Carmen in the future. I've known this man since I was 14 and I was upset myself to hear the news. Her brothers, Lucas, 25M, and Marco, 23M, are very far from her and were the first to get the news. Their dad called Lucas and broke the news as their dad works in many different places for his job. Lucas told Marco, who told Carmen. Carmen was home and she realized she wasn't going to be able to afford the rent or any bills her dad was paying. Lucas and Marco were moved out with their own things. Lucas was 3 states away with his wife and 2 kids and another on the way, and Marco was in college in a whole other country. Carmen, having nowhere to go, called me. For extra background, Carmen has always been hardworking, and working at her job since 16. But even with her pay she wouldn't afford the home her dad was paying off and the bills. I immediately told my dad the situation and he said she was more than welcome to stay with us. I got her to relax and said we'd be at her place to help her pack as much as she could. After we did arrive, she was a mess. As we helped her pack, she took breaks to just cry and sobbed the entire time having to pack her dad's things up. We put all the other things that weren't technically hers into a storage room we used for our own stuff. After she got everything she needed, we got back to my house and helped her unpack, and she was staying in my room. I told Carmen to take a nap and calm down and we'd talk about everything when she was awake and stable. My dad and I sat my sisters down and explained it to them. Kate and Helen were very sad for her and willing to help her, but Rachel was very hesitant. She said Carmen was a grown woman and was able to go find apartments and her own storage. My dad ended up calling my mom and explaining it to her and she understood. My family loves Carmen. Since we first started dating as 14-year-olds they loved her. Carmen is so kind, very beautiful, hardworking and knows how to be respectful and loving. She loves babysitting my sisters and hanging out with my older sisters. She helped my dad with some tools since her dad worked with them and even learned things from my mom since Carmen's own mom was very absent in her life. After Carmen woke up, she began to explain in tears she'd manage her job, pay any rent or bills, buy food and offer to cook and clean. Even offering to take extra shifts at her job because she doesn't like to be in a home and be sluggish or not helping. I told her she had to calm down, to which my dad, being the man of the home, told her he wouldn't charge her anything and she could be in her routine she always had. The only thing my dad asked is once I'm ready to move out, she'd have to, as he's heard us talking about moving in together. And to just remember her manners and all. Carmen was relieved but still had her guard up. The first month living with Carmen was amazing. Even if we told her she didn't have to, she would cook and clean the home and would take extra shifts here and there. She managed laundry and watched over Judy. She even fixed the shower drain when it clogged and the sink when the tap was leaking. Carmen was amazing around the house, and we even got to spend more time together and learn how to accommodate each other, staying in the same room and getting intake for the future when we moved in together. Until month 2, when my sister Rachel comes into the picture. Rachel has been my best friend before birth, my built-in one. Being twins was amazing since we had our own inside jokes and our adventures. Until 5th grade, when she began to just be mean and shut everyone out, which followed into her teen years. Rachel got into the wrong friend groups and did drugs and some vaping. As much as my family put their foot down, tried to be extremely nice, and even give silent treatment, Rachel never budged and got worse. But by 8th grade she was Carmen's friend before I even met her. She would mention Carmen around me, but I always thought it was another of her dumb friends until I had a class with her, and it's been history since. Rachel and Carmen were best friends even, but now since everything has happened Rachel has gotten sour with Carmen. Rachel lives with my mom and has a strained relationship with my dad, but when she comes to see Judy and me, Carmen tries to make small talk, but Rachel either ignores her or gives backhanded comments. Sometimes she even just asks Carmen bluntly when she'll move out. I've gotten into arguments with Rachel telling her she can't talk to my girlfriend like that, but Rachel ignores me or gets defensive telling me family comes first and I shouldn't be trying to turn against her. Month 3 is when everything came crashing down. It should have been the first warning to avoid the big event. My dad, Kate, Helen, Judy, me, Rachel and Carmen were having dinner discussing how we'd spend Lucy's birthday since she invited us all. Carmen was excited and had discussed with my mom on making the cake. Carmen is an amazing baker and never fails to make me full in the best way possible. Carmen showed her ideas since Lucy's birthday theme was a shark and aquatic theme. That's when Rachel scoffed loudly and said, "No one really cares if you're baking a cake, genuinely just stop talking, you're giving me a headache." The room went silent and Carmen had tears in her eyes but apologized and just remained quiet or only speaking when spoken to. After the dinner, I got mad and yelled at Rachel telling her she couldn't say that, and I understood if she had a headache, but all of our family was talking and she didn't complain then. Rachel got defensive and told me I was selfish for choosing Carmen over her and we were twins, saying we stick together. My dad told me Rachel was just being moody and to let it go, and maybe she established a boundary that came out too harsh to Carmen. I told him he didn't understand and that Rachel can't be mean to her. I comforted Carmen and told her it was gonna be okay. Carmen understood Rachel's side, but I was hesitant and thought she was probably just trying to understand to not seem like the victim. Carmen is very sympathetic and so kind-hearted, but she hates being center of attention and hates getting people in trouble. She's too kind but also very emotional. I told her it's okay to cry because it was mean. Now the big thing comes in. Being very foolish, Carmen got pregnant. We used protection but it did fail. She cried and told me she was willing to consider an abortion, but I said we could handle this and I was already looking into apartments that both our salaries could cover. I was actually a little excited to be a dad but also asked her input. Carmen's always wanted to be a mother, she is very good with kids and loves kids. She only would go with what was best for me and her and would never want to baby trap me. But I said we'd manage and get through this together for the sake of our child. We told my family and they were all happy for us. My sisters and mom gave her advice and offered to help her during the pregnancy. My mom kinda scolded me for being foolish. But other than that, she was excited to be a grandma. Helen made a joke she was surprised out of everyone I'd be the first to have a kid. After a while, Carmen was on the couch getting advice from my mom, my dad, and their partners on how to care for kids, what to expect, and how to be prepared. Everyone was happy, but Rachel. As my family was helping with dinner, talking, and making sure Lucy and Judy were in their sight, from what I heard later on from Carmen, Rachel had cornered her at the upstairs hallways and was telling her she baby-trapped me and she was gonna regret it. Rachel's always had weird humor and jokes and ways of saying it, so Carmen thought maybe she was overly sarcastic. As Carmen went downstairs, Rachel shoved her, almost making her trip on the last step, but she was okay, just startled. Rachel blew up at Carmen and screamed at her, raising her voice by the minute. She accused Carmen of being a baby-trapping bitch, telling her she wasn't good enough for me. She even accused her of cheating on me and maybe the baby wasn't even mine. Everyone began to get involved trying to calm the situation, but Rachel began to scream, "That's why your dad was taken. You're nothing but a SLTTYBTCH. You're so lazy and you live with us rent-free. I hope that mistake D***es." And a lot more horrible things. The room was silent and it seems everything stopped around us. Carmen began to sob and ran off to my room. My mom began to lose control and scream at Rachel, telling her she had no room to speak. Rachel had no job, didn't pay anything, and just begged my mom for money to go to the movies with her girlfriend. Kate and Helen were backing mom up and saying she was harsh and completely in the wrong, and Carmen was never a baby trapper. My dad was a very big gentle giant, so his tone was scarily calm, telling Rachel to get her stuff and just go home. Get her girlfriend to pick her up and leave. Rachel yelled at everyone saying they're all turning against her, that we were under some sort of spell and Carmen was blinding us all. She looked at me and gave me the same ramble she always did, calling me a traitor before I asked her to leave. After she left, everyone was still mad or tense with the situation and I went to Carmen. Carmen was in our room crying and telling me she was gonna get rid of the baby. I told her not to, that I knew she didn't want to and neither did I. She agreed she didn't want to but she didn't want to trap me. I told her she wasn't trapping me and I was so excited to be a dad. After a long talk, I got her to calm down and take a nap to not be stressed. Now, Rachel told our extended family, mutual friends, and even my ex-girlfriend, Victoria, 19F, that Carmen was baby trapping me. It was obvious that Carmen was cheating and my family turned on her. Now I'm getting texts from family and friends, some asking the truth as they knew Rachel's scheme, and some called me cold, sent threats hoping something happened to my kid, and some saying I could have not betrayed my twin. Victoria reached out through social media, telling me she was always here for me and I could talk to her, saying we could meet up for coffee and even get revenge on Carmen. Background on Victoria: me and her dated when we're 13, only for 4 months but we were close friends before it. Like best friends. And she hated Carmen when she began to date me, telling everyone I was cheating on her with Carmen. Carmen was a WH*re, and she hoped we didn't last and kept stalking me and wanting to reach out. At some point, she befriended Carmen and manipulated my poor girlfriend into believing she was a nice person, trying to get information on me from her, keeping in touch with her, wanting to get any chance for her to slip up and be mean to her. Victoria would be mean to her and dry but Carmen would excuse it as maybe depression or whatever. I told Carmen Victoria was a manipulator and wasn't good news but Carmen was hesitant. I blocked Victoria and told anyone who believed Rachel the true story. Some family and friends who believed her did switch sides and apologized, others still think I was mean or I'm lying. I'm now in the process of putting a payment on our apartment and trying to move out faster to avoid Rachel. My dad supports my decision and offered to help move stuff to not stress Carmen and to help with payments. Carmen tries to reach out to Rachel to apologize and talk, but Rachel screenshots it and posts it on her story saying it's manipulation and calls her a snake. I don't know what to do now. Rachel is my twin sister but she has gone too far, and even in the first month, I'm trying to care for Carmen as her pregnancy progresses. Advice will be the biggest help. What do I do? Do I continue comforting my girlfriend and moving or do I just focus on the fact my sister is saying these things? This is Rachel, and I feel like she's planning something or wanting some payback on me and Carmen. This is stressful and intense. Hey everyone, even though there's only a few comments, thank you for the support. I thought I was genuinely going crazy over not taking my sister's side. Some people have said it's very long and I apologize. I do ramble a lot and like to add full detail in case I don't make it clear. I posted this on another thing 4 days ago, but I would like to make it clear. Carmen's pregnancy happened in the beginning of June and as of now, Carmen is a month pregnant. We're very happy and excited for it. We went to the first ultrasound and cried. She is doing great, stress-free and already craving weird things I've run out to get at the store, lol. Rachel has not tried to contact me since the argument. Carmen stopped trying, saddened she couldn't get anything from my sister. I'm still angry at her and want to go full no contact. My parents, being my parents, say maybe to reconsider as she's my twin. My sisters take my side and said they are done with Rachel. Carmen says to give her a chance, bless her heart. She says see where it takes me and hopefully Rachel will come around. For now, I'm thinking about it and might consider for the sake of my girlfriend. I will probably not be updating for a while as I'm working my way to a promotion, moving to an apartment soon, focusing on my girlfriend's pregnancy and finding rings to propose soon as I know she's the one with these past 4 to 5 months showing it through hardships and all. Thank you again. I'll try to reply to anyone I can but for now, take care and I'll update when I can. Thank you.